I'm going to be pulling some CDs out from shelf 2 here. We're going to start with the letter G. Welcome, my name is Catherine. This is part 4 of sharing 90 CDs in my collection, and I'll be showing 5 CDs and 1 DVD. The first one is Peter Gabriel, Shaking the Tree, 16 Golden Greats. So this was released November 19th of 1990, and it's on the Geffen label. And it's his first compilation, so it starts with Peter Gabriel 1 or Car and goes through Passion of the Christ in 1989. So that's 6 albums. And the songs aren't in chronological order, but I do like how it starts with number 1 is Salisbury Hill. I think this is one of his most beautiful songs. So some of the songs are remixed or different than the album tracks, and some of that's okay. For example, Here Comes the Flood is a new recording. Peter felt like it was overproduced on the first album, and I agree. I just like the piano and vocal better. And I Have the Touch is also a remix. So the track Shaking the Tree is a song written by Yasu Nador in 1989, and it's on his Lion album, and it's included on this album because Peter Gabriel was the producer on that album. And he met Nasser in 1983, and you can hear his vocal on Biko and also on In Your Eyes. The second album I'll show today is also by Peter Gabriel. It's his Us album. This is his 6th studio album, and it was released September 28th of 1992. And it's on his own label, Real World Records. So the songs on this album are more personal. He writes about his divorce from his wife and also his relationship problems with his oldest daughter. And there are 5 singles that were released off of Us. They are as follows. Number 1 is Digging in the Dirt. Number 2 is Steam. Number 3 is Blood of Eden, and this is a duet with Sinead O'Connor. Number 4 is Kiss That Frog. And number 5 is Come Talk to Me, and this has backup vocals also with Sinead O'Connor. Another song I want to point out that wasn't a single is track number 6. It's called Washing the Water, and this is a very beautiful song. I also like the artwork that's in the liner notes, and I'll share a few photographs of some of these pictures. Album number 3 is by Genesis, We Can't Dance. It's their 14th studio album, and it was released November 11th of 1991. In America, it was on the Atlantic label, in the UK on the Virgin label. And it's their last album to have Phil Collins as lead singer in the band before he left for a solo career full-time. And this was a very successful album for them. It was their 5th consecutive number 1 album in the UK, and it was number 4 on the US Billboard album chart in America and sold 4 million copies. And there were 6 tracks on this album, and they were released between the year 1991 and 1993. And they are as follows. Number 1 is No Son of Mine. Number 2, I Can't Dance. Number 3, Hold on My Heart. Number 4, Jesus Knows Me. And number 5, Never a Time. And this is the one song written by Mike Rutherford. Most of the songs were written by Phil Collins. So other songs I want to point out on this album worth noting is Fading Lights. This is a song Phil Collins wrote to say goodbye to the Genesis band. And the other one is Since I Lost You. This is a song Phil Collins wrote for Eric Clapton when he lost his son. And I like the artwork on this album. It's by Felicity Roma Bowers. Album number 4 is Genesis Turn It On Again, the hits. This is a compilation. It was released October 25th of 1999, and this is on the Atlantic label. It contains 18 tracks, and the artwork on the front of here is fonts from various Genesis albums. So what this does for me is it gives me the singles from the albums I don't have, and I'll show these to you on a list. So these are the songs I don't have on my albums. Number 1 is Turn It On Again, Duke, 1980. Track number 6, Follow You, Follow Me, and then there were 3 from 1978. Track number 9, I Know What I Like, in parentheses In Your Wardrobe. That's from Selling England by the Pound in 1979. Track number 13, Congo, Calling All Stations, 1997. Track number 16, Misunderstanding from Duke. And then the last one is Carpet Crawlers, 1999, a newly recorded version with the same lineup as the original recording. From 1974, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. The 5th CD I'll show today is INXS X, or I like to call it 10. It's their 7th studio album, released September 25th of 1990. This is on the Atlantic label. The title is the Roman numeral 10, and what it represents is the 10th anniversary of the band, because their first studio album came out in 1980. And the singles on here are Suicide Blonde, number 2, Disappear, number 3, Bitter Tears, number 4, By My Side. And Bitter Tears and By My Side are my favorite songs on this album. And what I appreciate about the artwork on this album, and it comes with a really good poster, and I'll put the picture up here. The last thing I'll show today is an INXS DVD of a live concert called Live Baby Live. This is from a concert they did at Wembley Stadium in London on July 13th of 1991. And there were 73,791 people in the audience. And I never got to see INXS live, so this is how I get to see INXS. And I really love this band. So those are the albums I'm showing today. Please leave comments about what I showed and what are your favorites. I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Take care.